Biker Dads brought to you by Garza Law, Thunder Roads Magazine of Tennessee and Kentucky, and the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers.
Have you ever sat at your job and thought, what if I just got up and left? Tell that horrible boss to take this job and shove it. Have you ever wanted to just walk out? What about burnout? Well, that's exactly what I did, but I didn't just quit. I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell your story.
Daytona Beach, Florida, where you can actually drive onto the beach. Rick Fairless, a legend of his own, introduced me to Richard Rollins, Mayfield, Kentucky, Southeast Missouri, beautiful city of Knoxville, Tennessee, Gulf Coast of Mississippi, the Florida coast and the Tampa Bay area, Orange County Choppers, Roadhouse and Museum, talking to Paul Tuttle Sr. himself.
But make no mistake, this is not a show about motorcycles or even about me. Instead, I travel across the country to meet the people who use their passion for motorcycles to make their communities stronger, safer, and better. This is Biker Dad. We start this episode of the Biker Dad TV show in Mobile, Alabama for Mardi Gras. And yeah, you think of New Orleans when you think of Mardi Gras, but it all actually started right here in Alabama in the early 1700s. The first place for Mardi Gras in the United States. And now it is huge. Weeks of parades and parties and masked balls lead up to Fat Tuesday. Yeah, and there's Mardi Gras everywhere from Texas to Florida, all along the Gulf Coast. But in Mobile, Alabama, it's all about motorcycles. Streets are lined with hundreds of bikes, all Mardi Gras long. And down closer to the coast in Orange Beach, there's a Mardi Gras crew that's all about motorcycles. I rode with the marshals in a parade where it's all about masks and motorcycles.
I'm Eddie Kazee, and president of the Marshals.
What's the Marshals?
The Marshals are a Mardi Gras group here in Orange Beach. We get together to celebrate Mardi Gras every year. It's a brotherhood. It's a combination of guys that ride Harleys, that ride golf carts, floats, and we have a ball the Saturday before Fat Tuesday and a parade the Saturday before Fat Tuesday. Well, it started in Alabama. Everybody thinks it started in New Orleans, but it did not. It started in Mobile. New Orleans picked it up and they learned pretty good, but it did start in Mobile, and we took that basis down here, added a few things, subtracted a few things, and we try and give back to the community too as much as we can too. So we do a Freedom Rally run every October, and like this year we raised $4,500 for Youth Reach, which is a great cause up around Summerdale, and they help young men put their lives back together. We started 23 years ago. We looked at what it would be to have marshals ride horses versus Harleys. Well, Harleys don't have an issue with going to the bathroom on the road, and they're easier to insure and cheaper to insure. I think the people in the parade route love it. I'm just glad you're here and enjoy Mardi Gras, Biker Dad.
This is Biker Dad.
Well, this is Boston butts. We got 200 pounds pork butt on the smoker here. So far, we've only got 6.5 hours on this meat. Some of the smaller butts are already done. So what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and getting those out. I'm shredding your meat. This is what you call pulled pork. It ends up like this, but you gotta shred your meat properly in order to get it what we want on go on the sandwiches. So what we're going to do is we're going to taste this here in just a minute. If we need to add a little bit more flavor to it, we can add a little bit more flavor. And then we're going to pan it up so we get ready for tomorrow so we can feed our police officers here in downtown Mobile. So today's Joe Kane Day here in Mobile. It's a home of Mardi Gras. And every year what I do is I get different restaurants and bars together, and we feed our police officers, Mobile's finest, along with our county sheriffs and first responders, i.e. Our paramedics and firefighters too. Right. Volunteers are mainly bikers. I'm a member of the Hog chapter here locally in Mobile. So a few years ago when I started this, about 6 or 7 years ago, I reached out to them for the help. Volunteers so that we can plate the food up and get it out to our police officers. Our volunteers are our motorcycle groups. They respect the law and they appreciate what they do, especially on Mardi Gras when they're all overworked, just tired. So it's a good way to give back to our police officers.
I'm Chris Ross, Mobile Hog Chapter. We have quite a few of our members here helping out. We love it. We just love helping give back to the community. We love our police officers, our first responders. It's just something we enjoy doing. We've done it several years now and hope to continue. It is mostly about partying, but we have police officers standing out on the corners, and a lot of those guys cannot leave their post all day. Well, they get hungry like everybody else. So this is just a way of helping them out, helping take care of the issues that's out there. Thank you so much, Larry. Thank you much.
A lot of times, officers, we have to stay at our corner all day long. We don't get an opportunity because where we're at, either we don't have a location that's close by where we can grab something real quick, but just being able to have somebody do that for us, it is great that we can have something to at least eat because we're working all day and just don't have that time or availability to go and get the food. A lot of us will work our regular shift from 8 to 5, and during the week, Mardi Gras starts from 5 till just whenever we can get off, usually around 10 o'clock at night or later. So we're here all day long. In the last week, we're here from, maybe some of us are here from 6 in the morning till maybe 10 at night. And it's just every day. So it wears on you.
This is actually wonderful that the community, this organization comes together to support the police department so they can stay out there to do a good job.
Hey, what's up, guys? I Joker, Spectre's LEMC. Down here today, we're going to feed 455 officers and first responders. Spectres, we are a law enforcement motorcycle club. It's first responders, police, military, and a select few of like-minded or civilian.
We have a good relationship with a lot of the bikers around here, and just like police officers, sometimes bikers get a bad rap, but that's not the case here in Mobile.
Bikers are more giving than people will ever realize. They do more charity work. They do more events to help people, and it's just something bikers love to give back.
We're pretty much all for the community, really. I mean, we volunteer, we do charities, we donate. It takes all of us in the community, not just them or us.
Every year we do this, and I'm proud of the people that put this together and that help make this happen. All the restaurants downtown that I reached out to, there no questions asked. They gave me the product that I needed, probably more than what I need. But the main thing is, feeding our police officers. It means something to me, and hopefully it means something to these other folks too.
Hi, this is Chris Best, Biker Dad, and we are at the Mecum Vintage Motorcycle Auction, and I'm here with Michael Mobies. Michael is a combat veteran and is really into these military motorcycles. So what is it besides that about these that you find this cool?
Love the idea that the U.S. government bought all these Harley Davidsons in World War II, and they were workhorses. And if you go to like the World War II Museum in New Orleans, you can see it there and learn about them. So I think I kind of fell in love with them, learning the history. And then when I get a Road King Special in mineral green, I had it painted up with the star on the side like a lot of the Harleys did in 1942, like this one.
So this is a 1942 Harley WLA, and so what they would do is they would build these and then put them in a wooden crate and ship them to the theater in Europe, and the people who would ride these through war actually assembled them themselves in the battlefield. And a lot of the communication during World War II was thanks to these guys risking their asses on a 1942 Harley Davidson to ride across the battlefield. What's interesting about this one that I read on the ticket here is that this one was still in the crate when a civilian bought it and put it together. So that happened a lot after the war, right? Yeah. So, and another thing that would happen is the guy who put this together in theater would bring it home with him, and then he would turn it into a chopper and chop all this crap off it. So the fact that it has all of this stuff is pretty amazing, because what would normally happen would be all these lights and the bags and the fenders would be chopped off. This is how things like the Hells Angels and the Banditos started. Those guys were coming back from the war. They wanted a brotherhood, and they used their motorcycles that they used in battle, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I also find it interesting how much is the same, you know? Like, there's a lot of aspects of Harley Davidson's made right now. Like my 2022 Road King looks very, you know, the way the brakes are and the foot pegs and the saddlebag placement, and obviously they've modernized them, but a lot of the functionality is the same, and even a lot of the aesthetics are the same.
Yeah. The big difference is the kickstart, which you see right there.
Yeah, right.
And
chain.
This Harley basically invented the V-twin, so it's got two cylinders, just like our bike style too. Another big difference is that all of your shocks are here in the seat. So imagine riding this kidney buster across a bomb-shelled field while people are shooting at you. Yeah. That's what they did. And that's why those guys came back and just fell in love with the motorcycles, because they went through hell with them.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It also reminds me of Captain America.
Mecum Auto bought the Mecum motorcycle auction. I can't afford most of these bikes, but it's still really cool to see them and learn the history. And I know you're a history buff as being a veteran and everything like that too. You should come and check out the Mecum auction, right? I mean, your mind's blown, my mind's blown. Yeah. Come down next year, and maybe we'll have a bike in the auction next year too.
That would be great.
Hi there, this is Chris Best, the Biker Dad. I'm just here to let you know that myself and the hundreds of thousands of people who follow us on social media and watch the TV show are here to help. Do you need help with something? Give me a call. That's my number right there, 251-402-6392. Especially if you need legal help, I have an army of lawyers across the country who can help you with injuries after motorcycle crashes especially, but other stuff like crime and everything else too. So give me a call, 251-402-6392.
At the Garza Law Firm, we prepare cases as though they're going to trial. We always want to be in a position where we're ready to go to trial because we believe that yields the very best results. However, all along the way, we're going to help our client make the best decision about either preparing for trial, or in the alternative, what are the things that they can do in order to maximize the value of their case short of going to trial. Because ultimately, the decision about whether to go to trial is up to the client. Although it is rare for a personal injury case to go to trial, whenever a case does go to trial, the Garza Law Firm will be with you every step of the way. We'll have somebody there that prepares you in order to testify properly about your case. We'll often workshop your case. We will bring in pretend juries that we will actually present your case to in advance of the actual trial. So when you do go to trial, if necessary, you're going to be very well prepared and feel very confident about your ability to present your case in the very best light.
The Garza Law Firm.
Hey everybody, April Violet here, Miss Heels on Wheels from Knoxville, Tennessee, and you're watching Biker Dad TV.
And he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Our Back on 2 segment is brought to you by Garza Law and the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers.
I'm Mike Dinkle with Redbeard Cycles, Pensacola, Florida. The bike here belongs to this young gentleman here. It's a 1987 Heritage. He's owned it since brand new.
So I was a rescue swimmer in the Coast Guard, 17 years.
Through his military service, He was disabled and unable to ride the motorcycle. Myself and Frank Garrett found out about this at the last A Hero event and decided to do something about it. And right now we're in the process of converting his bike into something more functional for him that he'll be able to enjoy for years to come.
Rode it for quite a few years till '97. I lost my limbs from a bacterial infection from the water. Turned me septic, got gangrene in my limbs. That's how I lost my limbs.
Last August at the A Hero event, the A Hero Warrior Hookup Ride, Frank Garrett actually met Dave, helping him put his wheelchair in the back of his truck. They got to talk and found out that Dave had a bike. Frank approached me about it and said, hey, you know, we need to do something about this. So I think that next weekend, we went out and met up with Dave and looked at his bike. We got out there, it was sitting on a bike lift in his garage, tucked off in a corner, full of dust. First order of business was make sure it ran. That took us all of about a couple of hours. Fresh battery, fresh fuel, make sure the plugs were clean, and it fired right up.
How's that feel?
So that right there told us that the bike wanted to come back to life. The whole point in this is to get Dave back on his bike, to get him back in the wind so he's enjoying something that he loves. We know he loves it, or he'd have got rid of this a long time ago. Redneck ingenuity and a lot of prayers. No, seriously, we've got a plan. Right now, the trike kit was the first step. We had to get it stable so he could get on and off the bike without any problems. Picking a bike up and putting it back down on the side stands kind of hard. So we had to make sure it had a stable platform. We're at that point right now. So now we got to keep moving forward. Next step is working on the controls, making them compatible for what he can do on the bike. One of which, the brake system is going to be ran more of an ABS style braking system to where he can either use the foot or the handbrake, and it actuates both the brakes to help slow the bike down. On the shifting portion, he's no longer going to have a clutch cable. We're doing a suicide shift, and we're going to put an EMF auto clutch in it. That clutch system is it's a lot like the Recluse. He bumps it into gear. As long as it stays under 1,500 RPM, the bike stays stationary. As soon as he gives it throttle, it takes off, and then he can just shift through the gears just by bumping the shifter. As far as the throttle system, we're going to rig up a paddle style system that he's going to squeeze with his thigh. That way he can just squeeze with his thigh to increase the throttle and let go to decrease the throttle. I know there's been a lot of modifications to motorcycles for amputees. We've talked to a lot of people, seen a lot of things. I don't personally know of one that was built for somebody in Dave's predicament. That's not to say it can't be done. We're gonna make it happen one way or the other. Dave's gonna ride this bike. I don't care if he gets on it and rides it to the end of his block every day, turns around, takes it home, and puts it in his driveway. As long as he's able to get on his bike and go, we've completed what we set out to do, and that was to put a veteran back on his motorcycle. Bikers and their bikes, they coexist, you know. Bike can't survive without its rider, and a rider damn sure can't survive without his bike.
One leg, that's easy. You can do it. Definitely inspired me to get on and see what I can do with it, and even if I just drive it in parades, it'll be good enough for me.
Where's the first place you're gonna ride it to?
Probably a big parking lot. This should be interesting. How'd I do it last time, right?
Swung it over the top. There you go.
Yeah.
Got it.
You can't talk about motorcycles in East Tennessee without talking about biker rags on South Clinton Highway. My friend April Violet said I just had to meet Jeff and Pam. They've been gearing up riders and supporting the motorcycle community since Nirvana was #1 on the charts. Come check out Biker Rags for gear, apparel, and the beautiful vintage bikes in the basement. You can even touch them. Check out their free swap meet too. Schedule at bikerrags.com.
Many of us won't do things for ourselves. You may not spend money on yourself, or I may not do something that I want for myself, but most of us are motivated by others. We'll do things for our family members that we would never dream of doing on behalf of ourselves. And for no other reason, if you are to max out or at least greatly increase or add on that underinsured motorist coverage or uninsured motorist coverage to your motorcycle policy, at least what you're saying is, hey, if I've got family at home, a spouse, a loved one, children, as we both have, I want to know that if the unexpected does happen or if an accident happened, at least I've laid out a plan B for them. At least there's something that's going to take care of them while I recuperate. And so if we're not going to do it for ourselves, fine, I get that, but let's do it for our families and our loved ones and everybody else around us. And what a blessing it is to live in East Tennessee at the foot of the Smoky Mountains, where we have probably some of the best riding probably in the entire nation. I mean, it's really, it's funny when something's in your backyard, you don't always grow to appreciate it as much as you should. But if you look around this place, it's just beautiful, especially this time of year with the fall leaves, and to be able to get on a motorcycle in East Tennessee, in this area of the country, is just a blessing that, I don't know, should be cherished.
Airbag jeans are now a thing for motorcycle riders. Two companies, France's CX Aerodynamics and Sweden's Motorcycle, are now selling airbag jeans for motorcycle rides. They sit flat as you ride, but in a crash, they instantly air up. The pants are tethered to your motorcycle, so when you go flying off, they protect your knees, hips, and thighs, instantly inflating. Take a look at the promo video from CX Dynamics.
Alors super top. Même pas crevé, rien, nickel. Franchement, le top.
Lève ton casque.
Les jambes, comment elles vont?
Trop bien.
To demonstrate exactly how they work, a couple of the French bikers crashed on purpose and showed what happens when you go for a slide or go for a ride through the air. They may help protect your lower extremities, but at a big price. They start at $641 for one pair of inflatable jeans. My name is Chris Best, and I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell stories. And now I'd like to invite you along for the ride. You can watch my show right here every week, Biker Dad TV. Friday mornings at 6 o'clock on Fox 43, brought to you by Garza Law and Thunder Roads Magazine of Tennessee and Kentucky.
When hiring a personal injury law firm, it's important to get them involved as early as possible in the process. Their decisions early in the process regarding what insurance to use, do I use my health care coverage, how much information do I give each of those entities, and when do I give them that information, can all drastically change the bottom line when it comes to resolving your case down the road. Second, and even more importantly, the reason to get the Garza Law Firm involved as soon as possible is because there are witness statements that need to be obtained immediately in many cases. Memories fade. If it rains, if it snows, the more days that go by, the more that the scene where the accident occurred changes. And also video footage from either witnesses or a local business that can be obtained in that first 24 hours are absolutely vital to getting the best result, or sometimes there's the difference between getting a result and no recovery in a case. So at the Garza Law Firm, we encourage you to call us immediately as soon as possible because we feel like the best results occur whenever we can get involved right away.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back in Mobile for Mardi Gras, I had the honor of being invited to lead another little parade, this time at a local school. St. Pius X Catholic School asked me and a few of my biker buddies to lead a small Mardi Gras parade across campus for all the kids and the folks in the neighborhood. Just an awesome way to end the Mardi Gras season. And also make these future drivers a little more aware of motorcycles on the road. Motorcycles are a huge part of Mardi Gras, and we just happen to get invited to help out with one of the smaller parades at a local school.
I'm Lauren Alvarez, principal of St. Pius X. This is our annual Crew de la Cardinal Parade. I'm trying to find out how many years we've been doing it. It's been at least 10 years. I can't remember, maybe longer than that. And it's just getting out celebrating the season. Have our own little parade with neighbors come in, parishioners come watch, special guests like y'all join it. So it's just a big event, just a fun day. We're just happy y'all are here. We appreciate it. It's a fun day and gets us ready for celebrating Lent. So this is our big hoorah before Ash Wednesday.
Hi, my name is Ed Juju Lassard. It's Mardi Gras, man, and actually this is my first Mardi Gras event. This is what I do. I love Mardi Gras. It started in Mobile, so we got to do it right, man. We're going to ride the bikes, we're going to give them some thunder, and just enjoy ourselves. Yeah, that's right. They get to see the bikes, they get to hear the bikes. Some of them have already asked us some questions, so it's been pretty cool. It's a good experience.
That's it for this week's episode of the Biker Dad TV show from Mobile, Alabama. Until next time, please look twice for motorcycles.